I hope you guys are having an amazing day today. Welcome. It is Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving in 2020, which is quite a fascinating year for so many of us. It's definitely not gone according to plans, I think, for most people. Some people are thriving and doing even better this year than ever before. And I know some are struggling. I know everyone who is a mom like I am, it's been a little rough, just a little rough, trying to deal with kids and everything. But I'm excited to share with you on this topic because I think it's a really important topic to have the tools that we can all use during this time period, whether it's from Halloween through to Thanksgiving, through to Christmas. We have Hanukkah in there too, New Year's, right? And in my case, I'm Indian. So we have Diwali and we have a lot of holidays that started back in August. And they kind of crowd together in the month of October. And this year, it was a mess. It was a real mess. A lot of them got canceled outright. We couldn't meet. Family members were sick and had the virus and couldn't get together. So it definitely was not the same holiday season as before. And I know for my family, Christmas is really important. It's like a big holiday, and every few years we gather, if at least the local family gathers. And at this point, there's a lot of family members who will not gather because they are holding a really good quarantine, a proper, like for their age or their health issues, quarantine where no one's allowed in their house and they don't go to other people's homes. So I wanted to teach on this topic today because I find it so important for all of us. Let me see if I can find my slides. I feel like my slides were not in my slideshow the way I wanted. Let's see here. Yeah, okay, I found it. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to share my slides with you. So today's topic that I'm going to go over in this group is how to balance our Vata energy or any of our anxious energy that we have around the holidays. So we've been through the holidays many times. I think we all know the traditional, typical things that bother us, whether it's people you meet once a year and the questions they ask you that irritate you, whether it's gathering so many people together, maybe you're an introvert or an empath and bringing that many people together is stressful. Maybe it's hosting and cooking and trying to serve everyone, but more stressed about how they're going to receive it, if they're going to be grateful about it or happy or criticize. Maybe it's calling the mother-in-law or mother over and whatever that comes with. There's so many things, right? And then for some of us who are on a healthy path, I know that just going to holiday parties and trying to figure out what on earth we're going to eat and how without throwing off our gut health, throwing off our inflammation, throwing off our mood, or throwing us off the health path that we're on, that alone can be stressful and tough. I know for me, that's a big one. I'm like, okay, I'm going to this house, but they don't really follow gluten-free practices. But if I eat the food, my stomach will explode. Like, how do I nicely take something that I can have? You know, like there's a lot of thought that happens. So a lot of times I just eat my dinner before I go. And that's my solution. I'm like, all right, I ate. So technically whatever I eat there is for fun. And I'm not walking in hungry. So I technically don't have to eat the whole meal. I can just like nibble on the few things that I'm allowed to eat that fit my health rules for what I live by. And then I'll be supported. So let's dive in. So first, let's talk about Vata energy and what that is. So here in the natural remedies group, I've talked about Ayurveda. And Ayurveda is a system of health and healing from India that's over 5,000 years old. And you guys know me, I'm Dr. Shivani. So I'm an Ayurvedic practitioner, and I love teaching on Ayurveda and super spices and inflammation and what it can do for us. And you probably also know that a couple months ago, I guess 2 months ago now, I launched my signature program called the Fusionary Method. And I have about 20 ladies in the group right now, and they're doing amazing. They came for a number of different issues that they're struggling with, whether it's sleep, inflammation, joint pain. We've got, systemic inflammation, autoimmune type issues that are going on. We also have some just weird random health issues that you can kind of attribute down to sleep, gut health, and inflammation. And so they knew that by learning those tools from Ayurveda, they'd be supported. So within that program, I taught about Vata. So I'm going to open up one of my PowerPoints from there and just talk about the Vata dosha with you guys. Just some background, within Ayurveda, we have this concept called the mind-body constitutions. And so we kind of categorize everyone as a Vata, a Pitta, or a Kapha. You guys typically pronounce that Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. So out of those three doshas, you take a quiz to understand which one you are. You understand which one is dominant, which one is secondary. And then once you know your dosha, you also backtrack to when you were a child and understand what your dosha was back then. Because we're all born with a mind body constitution, a dosha. And our goal is to get ourselves back into alignment so we feel like our true selves. That work is not easy. It doesn't take 5 seconds. But once you know how to do it, then you can start bringing yourself back to that centered, balanced person. And as you do, you start to like come into home in your own body and come into home in your own mind. A lot of times we've been taught ways of being that people tell us that we need to be. You should be faster. You should be smarter. You should be more successful. You should be able to take it all and do it all. You should be superwoman. You should be a lot of things. But if you don't know what kind of vehicle you're in, you might be trying to push the pedal too hard or drive in a way that's not sustainable for you. And so sometimes it's so important just to understand your constitution, your tendencies, your likelinesses, your likes and dislikes. And when you understand that a little better, you can support yourself. And then the vehicle you're in will drive that much faster, that much better, and you'll feel good. I'll just give you an example. I'm a Pitta from birth. And for a long time, I've just had this kapha imbalance ever since I had kids. I always felt like, oh gosh, I'm so much heavier. All this excess weight just stays on my body. I feel like I'm lethargic. I feel like I'm slower. I was like, why doesn't my brain work the way it did? Did kids really do this to me for life? That's so unfair. I really got frustrated. And I was like, well, all right, this is what it is. But then when I sat there and did my own like dosha analysis, I thought, you know what? Every Ayurvedic doctor in India always said I was Pitta, but why don't I ever feel like a Pitta? So I started balancing myself back towards that. And all of a sudden, I feel clearer. I feel sharper. I feel lighter. I feel better. I feel like, okay, I know how to manage being an ambitious person who wants to do good in the world with balancing my energy levels and self-care in a way that prevents burnout, which is a big deal for me. I know how to take care of my health along the way. I'm rolling up my shirt because I'm wearing flannel in Florida and it's really hot. Okay. So it's so cool once you understand your dosha and your constitution, because then you always have these little tools and tricks to kind of tweak your own body and calibrate throughout the day. You guys have heard me share about self-care, tea time is me time, all those things. And in my signature program, I get to really like bring it all together in a cool way. So let me share my screen with you guys so you can see this PowerPoint that I'm talking about. I'm not going to be able to go through the whole thing because that would take us like hours. Let's hit play. And so in the program, I'm able to go like so deep into all these different topics. But for today, let's talk about Vata traits for a moment. So there's a Vata person, this is describing the appearance, but there's also Vata traits. So any of us can carry the traits of Vata because we carry all three doshas in the body. And I don't want to make this too confusing. I know I'll get like 100 questions. If you're on here, say hello, comment below. I'd love to know where you're checking in from just so I can see who I'm talking to today. I'm going to click on Facebook and just make sure on my life that I'm actually on it. So many times I start really fun Facebook lives and then they're not actually happening in the group. Let's see here. So if you check this slide out on Vata traits, it says I am live. Let's see in the right place. Groups, natural remedies. Oh, goodness gracious. Where am I live? Come on, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Say, yes, I'm right. And it worked. I love to hear that I got it right. That's always a good sign, right? Well, let's continue until my phone decides to actually show me what's up. So Vata traits, a person who has Vata traits is more of a higher stress person. Like they seem to be nervous or like always restless. A Vata trait is to be more active and almost like hyperactive. A Vata person generally finds it really hard to relax. So think about this in relation to yourself right now. And if you feel like you can relax in your life right now. A Vata person has sleep that's light or easily disturbed. Now, I know that's happening a lot this year for a lot of people. I have a lot of good sleep tools and solutions, guys. Within the fusionary method, I did a whole module on sleep because sleep to me is so key. Sleep is when we clear that inflammation overnight. And so Vatas, or that Vata energy, means you tend to suffer from nightmares, insomnia. And a Vata person will think and talk fast. They love being with other people. They're extroverted. A Vata type energy would be good at initiating things, but not following through. Think about that one. That's a big one for Vata people. If you're one of those people who starts like this, and never finishes them, that discipline that you need is actually found in more of the Pitta and Kapha types of people. And so it's really a practice to see this, understand that it's a trait that's like part of having that dosha, and then support yourself in catching it every time and shifting it. So it's not a frustration to you. Lively, but prone to poor memory and concentration. Are you someone who's having a really hard time right now having good memory or good concentration this year? This person tends to be creative. So Vatas are creative types of people. So let's talk about the ways that you support a Vata imbalance. So what's interesting is during the holiday season, so much more is usually happening, right? We've got the holidays this week. Kids are out of school for the whole week. It's Black Friday. So if you're a small business, you're trying to figure out how to like do your Black Friday sales and do your work. At the same time, you might want to shop and buy some things on sale that you might need in life. Then we are like hooking right into December. Like time is moving fast. For me, it's my birthday next week. So I'm trying to like figure out how to celebrate my birthday safely with friends, if that's even appropriate. We'll see how I do it. And then we're at the holidays, and typically there's holiday parties and gatherings and giftings. And it's like, well, if I'm not going to see you, are we doing gifts? Are we not? Are we gathering? Can we do Christmas? Can we not? You know, there's a lot of thought that happens. And then you've got the new year. And so even if you're not a Vata person, you might be suffering from a Vata imbalance. And so when we talk about that anxious energy that comes up at this time of year, doing these things, balancing for Vata, can be one of the most supportive things you can do for yourself from now all the way through the end of the year. So one is get plenty of relaxation, rest, and sleep. I know easier said than done. Let's say life is busy and hectic and the lists are long. Just get good sleep. Just go to bed by 10 and get a 7 to 8 hour night of sleep. So during the day, you have that energy and support you need to get through everything. Or utilize methods to reduce anxiety, including yoga and meditation. I increase my yoga during this time of year. I make sure I meditate in the morning, even if it's just 5 minutes. Whether you go to an amazing yoga class, I love going to yoga. There's yoga outdoors even. My teacher, Leslie, is offering them Sundays outdoors at Farmer's Table. You can message me for details. There's so many ways to get that support, but that yoga will really center you, ground you, and support you during this time. And if you're not going to studios or going to places with others, YouTube has so many options. So you can find something good that you like. Another one is to follow a regular routine. That means eating on a regular basis, breakfast, lunch, dinner. It means not skipping those meals, not running around without carrying like your hot tea, hot water, your drinks, your beverages, those things that you need to feel supported. We can all easily go running out of the house with nothing in our hands, hoping that we magically find something to eat or drink for the day, right? I make sure that I have had my tea, breakfast, lunch, tea, dinner, no matter what. That happens on a schedule. And I know it takes a little planning, but it's so important to do that, to have that energy balanced, the Vata energy balanced in our bodies. Now let's talk about internal and external use of oils. So just eating healthy fats and grounding foods at this time of year can be so supportive. So a lot of times people share with me, like I don't want to eat salad anymore. It feels like fall, it's cold outside. I say, look, fall, winter is such a beautiful time of year. Look at what are the foods that are seasonal to right now and eat those. Spaghetti, squash, pumpkin, any of those root vegetables. Look at the Thanksgiving foods that are there, sweet potatoes. These are all root vegetables that are very grounding to us. They kind of weigh you down. So don't overeat, don't overindulge, but if you can like consistently every day, eat a seasonal food. That's really supportive. Or in the meals that you're eating, can you add a tablespoon of olive oil or a couple slices of avocado? Can you add in healthy fat into your day? Or for your snack time, have some nuts that weighs you down a little bit. Vata is like this moving wind energy. So imagine if you're like a tornado running through the holidays. What is your experience of the holidays going to be? You're not going to remember it as a time that was joyful, that you were present for. I'll give you an example. I pulled out all the Christmas decorations yesterday, and they're all over the dining room. And now tomorrow, there's a football game and some people want to come over. So I basically wrecked my house, but I wanted to decorate for Christmas, but I wanted to enjoy it. And I wanted to enjoy doing that with my kids because it's important to me that we decorate together and stuff like that. So I actually let them decorate, which I don't love how they decorated, but it's okay. It's cute. And I let them do it just to see how they would do it. They did exactly what mommy does. They hung up wreaths on the front door. They put the pretty gift boxes outside. They decorated the TV stand, the fireplace, and the front entrance like surface that you can decorate. And so to me, that felt really special. But I could just as easily at 4 o'clock today, when my day ends, or 5, start running around and putting everything together, putting everyone into a tailspin, getting mad at them when they drop half the stuff, just to execute a look for tomorrow, for Thanksgiving. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not. I've thought through it, and I was like, what do you gain? You gain a pretty house, but not that savory, beautiful, like magical day that you wanted with your kids. I can have time on Friday. I've blocked Friday for this. And so it's just important that you kind of find that way through that's a grounded, centered approach, instead of got to get it done, and then you don't get to savor it. And so one way you can have that is by balancing your Vata energy. Don't starve, don't skip meals. And in Ayurveda, we talk about a self-care practice called abhyang massage. That means self-massage. So that is when you take out a towel, take out a food-grade oil like sesame oil, coconut oil, any of those food-grade oils that you'd eat on a spoon, and you start to massage the body from the feet up using the oil. Now, I know this sounds weird, and I know this sounds different, but it is so good for Vata energy. It is so nourishing to the skin. It leaves your skin supple. It's really good for anti-aging or aging gracefully and beautifully. But it's especially good for that Vata anxious energy that exists in all of us. Avoid overstimulation. Take time daily for reflection and stillness. If you're on Facebook every single minute of the day, or on TV or social media or whatever, can you take 20 minutes and have your tea and read a book? Can you just like find stillness, meditation, take a walk outside just to get that vitamin D that we all lack in the wintertime, and kind of just be in nature and recenter yourself. Then get back to whatever you've got to do for the holidays. And then practice waking up at sunrise and going to bed at the same time every night, maintaining 8 hours of restful sleep. So that means sleeping 10 to 6 if possible. I've emphasized this a lot to the ladies in my program, but going to bed at 10 is super important. There's a lot of science behind why. Now let's talk about some Vata balancing foods. So like I said, choose grounding foods such as sweet potatoes, beets, those root vegetables. You can also choose moist foods like warm grains. If you like your oatmeal in the morning, there's a gluten-free oatmeal that I've been introduced to. I forgot the name. I'll post it for you guys later. And soups, stews, any dishes like that. I love having lentil stews and soups in my fridge. I can pull them out anytime, heat them up on the stove, add a little bit of extra spices. You can add pumpkin seeds or sesame seeds, not sesame seeds, pumpkin seeds, or there's another one that's really good and cute and green. I think it is pumpkin seeds. Add those on top for a garnish and eat it. I always add more black pepper and more red chili flakes because I like everything a little spicier. Avoiding dry, raw, and uncooked foods is important because those are harder to digest, and they're going to leave you kind of with that empty feeling, and then that wind energy of Vata is still going to be able to move and drive you crazy. And then just eating at regular times is important. So this is an image of Vata pacifying foods, and then I have a lot more slides after this. We dove into Pitta and all of that as well. So I'm going to stop sharing real quick, if I know how. All right, I'm back. Hi, guys. Perfect. So, just to review, there is the mind body constitution concept out of Ayurveda, which defines and is like a guiding light for how we can manage our own health, our own bodies, our own schedule, our sleep schedule, the foods we eat, the oils we use, the different things that we use during self care to support ourselves more. Now, Vata is one of those three. But what's fascinating is when I was doing my master's degree, one of my Ayurvedic teachers said to me, you know, what's interesting is in the West, over 90% of people suffer from a Vata imbalance. And I was like, what? That's insane. That is nuts. Like, then we have to teach Vata balancing pretty much to everybody. There's like a little 10% who's fine. So if you think about it that way, most of us are suffering from some form of Vata imbalance. And that just happens to be aggravated in this winter season, in this holiday season. And typically by the time we get to January, we're like, okay, the marathon's over. I survived. We are back home. Y'all are going to school. We're going to get on a schedule. I need to get healthy. I'm tired. Good. And why are we fatigued at the end? Because we stressed out, ran around. It was cold. Potentially we got sick because vitamin D levels dropped and we were running around and traveling more. Went to tons of holiday parties, entertained, had to buy gifts for everyone and figure that out. It's a lot. So what are ways, like take some time today and journal about it or grab a notebook and think through like, how can I make it fun, but awesome, but delicious, but not stressful? How can I make it great, but not go over and above at some crazy level to like impress others, but truly that's detrimental to me? In the group right now, we're doing a lot on self-care because it's one of those years where goodness, 2020 threw us for a really, really, really big loop. And I know a lot of people are like, what do you expect to happen on December 31st? Do you expect everything to just magically change? Obviously, it's not going to. I think we've all come to that understanding. But I think some things can change. I think we can kind of accept what is. I think we can say, all right, this is my world now. It's okay. It's going to be a couple years. We'll see. What are the things I loved that I'm missing? And how can I have them, but in a new way? What are some things I didn't love that are now gone that I can be grateful for? That's an idea. There are things that have changed that might be good. And then what are some new ways that I can approach my health and my life in 2021 that are more sustainable and appropriate for me? What are some habits I'm just not going to pick up again? Like I have a habit when life gets really busy, I'm like, oh, I shouldn't go to the gym. I need to work. It's not a good habit. It doesn't actually work for me. I know I have to work out. I know I have to do yoga and something in the morning. It's my kapha nature that like needs to move and then I can focus and do. And so for you, I would really take that time to reflect on, okay, we're approaching that last, what is it now? Last 31, less than 40 days of the year. What is it that you want? What can shift for you? I know for me, I'm so excited to offer the fusionary method again because it's been so good and the women are really seeing a difference. I talked to one yesterday. She's like, I've lost 7 pounds just being in the program. I was like, good job. I have another one and her gut health has improved. She's feeling so much better. A lot of them are practicing the self-care. They're feeling nourished and they're feeling whole. They're feeling like themselves again. And I think that's what all of us want. And so I'm excited I got to talk to you guys today on this topic about Vata, which is a type of energy, or that anxious energy. I know anxiety is through the roof this year. There are tools that we have in Ayurveda for that. One of them is an herb called Ashwagandha. We just discontinued it, sold out, discontinued it within Fusionary, my supplement company, but we're going to come back with a new one that's even better in the new year. I also am about to share a metabolism tea and some other cool things, a detox box that we're building for January. So we have some exciting things coming up, but I just invite you to participate in this group, post pictures, share, talk about your health struggles, talk about your health wins. Like, let's really support each other, talk to each other as women who are here and online and want to grow healthier and better together. I know so many of you guys in this group because I've had the honor of chatting with you or interacting with you. Just know that it's been an honor to create this group and to be with you. And I'm looking forward to an amazing 2021 because I know it can be amazing. We just have to create that for ourselves. So have an amazing Thanksgiving tomorrow. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. I hope it's yummy and delicious with all the yummy things and yummy time with your family. See you soon. Bye, guys.